Today's guest is someone who lives and breathes the grind. Chanel O'Brien is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitor making waves on the mats. She's known for a relentless work ethic, sharp technical game, and the way she's pushing through the ranks in one of the toughest sports in the world. But beyond the medals and the roles, Chanel has a story about discipline, setbacks, and what it takes to dedicate yourself to a martial art. In this conversation, we talk about the highs, the struggles, the mindset, and where she's headed next. Enjoy. Hi, Chanel. Welcome to the Dean Gunther podcast. It's really great to have you here. Chanel is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. She's also a competitor and trains out of Stealth in Oldham. And she loves porridge.
I do, yeah.
If you want to introduce yourself in your own words, tell us about where you're from and about yourself.
Yeah. Do you want me to look at you or the camera? Which one's best?
You can just talk to me.
Is that okay?
Fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, as you said, I'm Chanel, COB, Cobb, and I do love podge. Yeah, graphic designer and athlete.
So what drew you first to Jiu-Jitsu?
So everyone asks me this, and when I tell them, they're like, "What?" So my Zumba teacher died.
Your Samba?
Zumba.
Oh, right.
So I used to do Zumba dancing every
Yeah.
Wednesday to keep fit, and then obviously tragically she passed, and I was like, I loved UFC. As I've said before, like I was very lazy. I wanted to get into something, and I thought I want to do self-defense just purely because of my ex was a little bit of a dickhead. So then I googled self-defense. Stealth come up and I tried it, and then I was like, I actually quite like this. Quite like choking people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the people who don't know, how would you explain what is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Jits?
Yeah. So for everyone whose mum thinks that you do karate, or grandma, I'd say it's like a controlled way of breaking someone. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Can you agree with that?
100%.
Yeah.
Like some say, folding clothes with people in them.
Yeah. So like my friend always says she got folded like an empty tracksuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. Or she got thrown about like an empty tracksuit. It's like, it is, as cliche as this sounds, it's like a game of chess with your bodies.
Yeah. So what do you remember from your very first class when you went to Stealth? Was that your first session?
Yeah.
So what do you remember most from that session?
I remember meeting Ken, and then I remember there was a group of us, I think it was just girls, I was with lads as well. And I remember they asked like, why do you want to do it? And I remember thinking, what would sound cool? And I just went with the real reason, and then it was very cool. I think we did rear naked chokes, and I loved it from there. I remember trying to rear naked choke everyone, my grandma, my mum.
So you were instantly hooked?
Yeah, instantly.
For some people, like I said to you earlier, it took me about 6 months to really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because you feel, you get battered the whole time, and it's quite tough, quite intimidating when you first start,
Yeah, I think for men it might be more intimidating because, I might be wrong, but there's like the alpha male thing. And obviously if you're not good at it straight away, you might be like,
Yeah, nobody likes to be dominated, and
no.
because a lot of men maybe come there with a bit of an ego. I think everyone's got.
Yeah.
And when they get ragdolled or
Put them in the place.
it's not good for the
Yeah.
For the ego.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it, and I just wanted to learn from there on. I was like, I need to learn this, I need to get better. So.
And did you face any doubts or nerves in the start?
Yeah, the biggest nerves I had was like self-confidence and body confidence, because obviously I was a bigger girl.
Yeah.
Like, I was put with partners who were smaller, so like for me, sitting on them doing like technique, I was like, are they okay? Are they dying underneath me? Or and obviously the nerves of getting it wrong, but I think somewhere like Stealth with the right people who will teach you and guide you in the right way, the nerves disappear.
And what was the moment when you realized that BJJ was going to become a big part of your life?
It kind of transitioned really fast. Like, I've only been training for like 6.5 years, but when I realised I got addicted to it, and like the family I made at Jiu-Jitsu, I realised that I like that BJJ is my life, and competing can be something that I can do regularly and even make money out of it eventually.
Yeah, so talking about the money, because a lot of people say, you know, there's not a lot of money in jiu-jitsu. Athletes don't really get paid much. I think nowadays there's a lot more light, you know, shine on jiu-jitsu and like the UFC, and it's really growing bigger. So do you think financially athletes are going to start getting paid better?
Yeah, I think it is a possibility that everyone can get paid, but I think because to us jiu-jitsu is so big and it's our world, but like when you stand outside of it, it's not that big, so funding for it probably isn't a big thing. But it's nice that like you get paid on shows like Polaris, but even shows that are like when I did Valhalla, like getting paid on there is that like it's not even a huge show, but like the fact that they're still offering to pay is really nice, and people like value you. You just feel more valued. But yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it helps, you know, because with the traveling and
travel cost, funding. Like obviously, if you're not sponsored, it's expensive to buy your gear.
Yeah,
but you don't start off sponsored, and it's expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
The price to pay, obviously, to be part of a club, just everything's expensive. And if you're clever with it and you get insurance is expensive. But please get insured. That's my advice to everyone.
We'll get to that in a second. Yeah. So what does your typical week of training look like?
At the minute it's changed obviously with injury. Well, I'm actually training a lot more now, but my typical week would be Mondays are always my no-gi day at Stealth, and then a Tuesday, if I can make the 10:30 class, I'll do the no-gi there. Now I've started doing gi, which everyone's like, what? She does gi? I do gi on a Tuesday, and then Wednesday do no-gi at night. I basically train every day. Thursday start doing gi, and Friday do the 10:30 class.
And what is gi and no gi? How would you explain it for the people that's not familiar?
Okay, so gi, I'm not talking about the fat on a curry, because everyone always thinks the fat on a curry. Basically, one of them is wearing pyjamas to roll about on the floor, and your kimono, so you can choke with that. It's a lot different, like you can grip with the gi. With no gi, it's more slippery, and you wear like shorts and a top, or leggings and a top.
And it's a bit more fast paced.
Very fast paced, yeah, because you've not got anyone to grip you. So when I transitioned from gi to no gi or vice versa, I realised that grips can slow you down, but it's like an obstacle when someone's gripping you.
So we know at the moment you're struggling with injury, which is probably your worst injury you've had as of yet.
Yeah.
So how do you balance now your life around recovery, dealing with the injury, you know, and moving forward?
So when I first did my ACL, my life just kind of, this sounds really dramatic, but my life did flash before my eyes, because I quit my job to become a full-time athlete, and even something like my normal routine, which I just explained, it just changed. I couldn't walk at the start, so like I thought, how am I going to go and do like my no-gi on a Monday, or train, or I had a comp coming up that was a Grand Prix to earn money. So that mentally I was affected, but then the more I focused on my prehab, which was like my PT would make sure I did my exercises daily, and then I got stronger and stronger. And I think if you put your effort and focus into getting stronger, and you don't let something like an injury bring you down, because it's really easy to slip into, oh, my life's over, what do? I'm going to feel sorry for myself. But there's always ways you can overcome it. Like I went to the gym and trained upper body, which I hated, but I still did it. So there's always ways.
Yeah, so is that what you do, you know, for motivation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for motivation. So I think as soon as you do it, you are going to feel that down, and that's okay to feel the way you do, because your life's obviously like, it's a massive injury and it's a massive impact on your body. But when you get through to the other side and you realise, like now I'm rolling, but just on my back, or like carefully with other people, you realise there's ways to overcome these obstacles, and there's a solution to all the problems.
Yeah, I think the fact that you're still there, you know, even though you can't physically perform like you normally do, but you're still there, you're still taking it in.
Yeah.
So it stays fresh rather than staying away for 6 months or a year or two and then...
Yeah, my advice would be like, even when I first did it, I was still going into Stealth or into the gyms just to see like my family, my jiu-jitsu family, because you still want to be part of it. Because if you isolate yourself, then you already like you're creating a problem that's not there. You're already taking yourself out of your normal environment. So I think like as much as I'd love to be competing right now, it's still nice to have the end goal of surgery and then back to competing.
Yeah, and it's such a nice community, the jiu-jitsu world, when you find a gym that you resonate and with the people, and like you say, you, even if you don't train, you still go there to see like your family and your friends, which is also good for the morale in that.
Yeah, it makes, they'll cheer you up and you get asked a lot, like I always get asked like, how's the knee? And like you feel like you're sick of the question, but you're not, because you know people are asking because they genuinely care about you.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that said, oh, I'm actually gutted for you, like they were sad that I couldn't compete. It was showing me how many people do care about like me competing and they like watching me. So
that's awesome. Can you describe what it feels like to step on a huge stage like Polaris? Is it Polaris or Polaris?
I say Polaris, but you say
tomato.
Yeah, I might be wrong. I'm dyslexic, but yeah. So the first ever big boy show I did, I say big boy, like I did Grapple Fest, and I actually worked with a mind coach at the time because I was in my head. I was like, oh, I can't. I remember stepping on my first ever sub only, and that was in a pub. And even then, I was like, it's insane because you know everyone's watching just you. Like whereas you do an Empire or like a comp, and you know there's loads of matches going on at the same time. Like no one's bothered, but when it's a sub only, the attention's on you. And it's like when someone's watching you in the gym, like let's say your friends are watching you roll.
Yeah.
You are, like I'm anxious and I'm like, I can't mess up. So to be on a stage like Polaris, it's like, for me, I was in a really good place mentally, so all I was thinking was like, have fun. And that's the advice I'd give to everyone is if you can have fun while you're out there, then it's not as scary, it's because you can put that pressure on yourself. But yeah, it is crazy because my dream's always been Polaris, and then the fact that I was about to step on there, I was like, oh, is this really happening?
Wow, in the main spotlights. And it's like the biggest show in the UK, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
So how do you handle the nerves before matches? Do you like have any rituals? I know you said you had a mind coach. Did you find it help, or what do you do that you find, okay, let's get your mindset right?
Yeah, I think the important thing is who you've got in your team, who's going to warm you up. You want someone who's going to make you feel like, who's going to settle your nerves. So some people prefer to sit there quietly, whereas I used to like slap on my legs, and people would be like, well, what's she doing? But for me, it's like getting that first like touch, like the contact out there. But what my mind coach taught me, what Vinny taught me was, if you think about yourself 15 minutes after the match, like what you'd be doing, like you could be with your family, celebrating, eating donuts or whatever. Like after Polaris, I went and got donuts with my coach, Charlie. If you think about that, it kind of takes the pressure off. All you're thinking about is the match. So I'd say like if you can put yourself after the match, then you realise that, oh, it's literally, 10 minutes of your life. And remember that you put yourself there. Like some people, I do this a lot, where I'd be like, why me? Why am I forced to do this? Like, I've paid to do some competitions.
Yeah, you put yourself in there.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to be here. So yeah.
I don't think you've competed at brown belt yet, because I was going to ask you, but obviously you're dealing with an injury. How have you found the difficulty maybe in the different belt systems? Does it get more intense as you grade higher?
Yeah, every time I get promoted, I'm always like, oh no, because it does get harder. And the levels get harder because obviously like people are at these belts for longer. So like there couldn't be a purple belt that's been a purple belt for, I don't know, like 6 years. Whereas you're freshly promoted. So I do find it's difficult, but for me, I find that I level up at the same time as the same girls each time. So it's always, when I was in the lower weight category, I was competing against the same girls, and they'd get their higher belt, and I knew that then mine was due. So it's kind of like the same people, but we're all advancing together. But say if I did like an IBJJF, I know that the level would be harder. I just don't know the girls there.
Yeah. And you can't really tell who's been doing it for how long or...
No, especially if it's no-gi. Like, I fought against some people who are higher belt and I fought against some people who are lower belt. So I think like it's the person, not the belt colour.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you can get some absolutely amazing blue belts. Like these youngsters that are blue belts are like, there's a girl I train with called Layla and she's amazing. She's been training since she was like really young, but she's only a blue belt and she's already taken out black belts.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that is the difference as well, right? For because you can only be a blue belt, I think you must be 16.
Yeah.
Right, so some of these kids have been training since they're like 4 years old. So by the time they get 16 and they're blue, you can be a 40-year-old, been doing it for 2 years, get a blue belt.
Yeah.
But the 16-year-old will wrap you up. Right?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Talking about that as well, I mean, obviously America is like the mecca of jiu-jitsu, right? And you see all these kids who's been doing it the whole life, and you get these black belts at like 20-year-olds. What do you see the future? Where's UK like coming up in there? Do you think? Because I think it's pretty interesting. We're seeing more kids who started earlier.
Yeah.
Who's now? Do you think it's gonna level out the plane a bit?
With the UK?
Yeah, the UK. You know, like and competitiveness compared to like the States and these places.
Yeah, I think there's like a lot of up and comers from the UK. Like, obviously Owen Jones is amazing.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he's got his black belt yet, but he's like, he's amazing. But
he was on CGI, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's one of them up and comers who just keeps getting better and better. But I think the difference is, I think like if you travel a lot and you get your training partners in, then it doesn't really matter where you're from. But whereas like these people are from like America, they obviously have people coming to them to train. Like Helena's insane.
Oh yeah.
And she obviously progressed to black belt very fast, but it's who she trains with, right? And I think she has amazing training partners, and obviously to herself, she's amazing in herself.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a mixture of things. Like, what doesn't really matter where you're from; it's your partners and how much effort you put into training.
And what would you say is your toughest match that you've had?
My toughest match. I don't know. There's been a few. My toughest, in fact, yeah, there is a tough one, but I don't want to sound like I'm giving excuses. But then I'm going to give you excuses. So I was on Enyo, which is a female-only show, and that was my first ever show where they had commentators, and it was live broadcasted, and I think where I was mentally and physically was not a good place. And I knew my opponent was really good. Like, she's progressed and she's amazing now. She's got a black belt, and at the time, I remember I didn't do any of the game that I planned. I just didn't. I've never felt so defeated in a match as I did that match. I just got sat on for 10 minutes, and that was like my first major loss. And I remember thinking, I'm never going to let this happen. If I don't feel good mentally, I'm never going to go into a match.
Is there like a dream team or maybe a gym that you would really love to go and train at? Just even if it's for a week.
There's so many gyms that I'd love to. I'd love to train with, like, obviously Helene. I've met her before.
Yeah.
Lovely girl. I'd love to train with her. Just learn some stuff. There's so many gyms. Like, I could name gyms, but then it's like you have to. I'd want to feel like I'm part of it. Like, I wouldn't want to be one of them people who pays to, like.
Yeah. Sort
of like a fanboy. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Just training with, like, I already train with like amazing people. Like, training with George Pierce yesterday, whose level in jiu-jitsu is insane. So I don't know. There's loads of different gyms. Like, even something in the UK like London Grapple or Los Banditos, the level there is insane. But I'd love to train with someone like Adele, Helena, obviously. There's loads of different gyms. I don't want to name them all because there's too many.
Yeah. And how important would you say is martial arts, especially BJJ, and especially for women?
I'd say it's incredibly important, really. Obviously, women are. I had this conversation with someone, like, if I was to go out for a walk, a man would be absolutely fine with going out for a walk at night. But I'm not saying it's like, oh, women have it hard, but for a woman, we have so much to like contemplate, like who's on the street. We have to constantly watch our backs. So I think knowing even just a little bit of self-defense or jiu-jitsu, like I feel safe knowing that I could look after myself.
And what challenges do women face in the sport?
There's quite a lot because we are the lesser, like on average there's so much more men in the training room. So we have to find like good partners to train with, people we can trust. Because there's like men who are the same size, but obviously the strength plays a part in it. Finding correct partners, and I've noticed the more I speak to females, like they always feel like a wasted role for men, and I don't think that's a nice way for them to feel. So I think that's a challenge. Obviously, just finding other women training partners, and then making sure that women's jiu-jitsu, we stick together. Because I know that there can be like toxic arguments or bitchiness, and I don't think that should be a thing.
And I mean, you've got women-only groups as well. I think you do Sundays.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so for the women, maybe they feel a bit intimidated, or if they're not sure, but they want to try it, then they can always do the girls' classes, which is still amazing, like really, really good, you know, jiu-jitsu practitioners, you know, from black belts to white belts, everyone.
Yeah, and women constantly want to like help other women. Like men want to help as well, but like the women's groups, like my friend Julia does judo for BJJ camp. That's a women's camp, and that in itself, like the community of that, it's chaotic, but it's become so nice to see everyone get along and meet up for this camp. So I think there is a lot out there for women.
Yeah, and I think jiu-jitsu is a really good martial art for self-defense and to create distance, especially in close environments. Because I mean, we've all seen the martial arts, which gives people false sense of security, where they teach them the wrong things.
Yeah.
You know, what do they call these martial arts? Bullshido or whatever, you know?
Yeah, like where they say they'll just flip them over the shoulder if someone comes
Yeah, exactly. Where I think it's really important for somebody to actually learn the right techniques, because it could save your life.
Yeah, definitely. Whereas if you learn
Bullshido,
you might try it and end up in a worse position.
Exactly. Have you seen more women joining recently?
I'd say there is, yeah. When I first started, there was obviously a few females at Stealth, but the more gyms I visit, there is a lot more ladies, and it's really nice to see. Like it's nice to see drop-ins of females when I'm at Stealth. Yeah, I'd say there is, especially with like the bigger like athlete, like the stars almost getting noticed. Like Theon is a big inspiration to a lot of women. Julia and Hayley had a big fight on Polaris, and like the fact that their match was so, like, I don't know if you watched it, it was so like such a good match to watch, and people was like screaming in the crowds, and the fact that that was from two females, I think it inspires young girls. And my friend's little girl does jiu-jitsu now, and I love it. I just love the fact that young girls want to be like these, that their idols are jiu-jitsu athletes.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important, you know, having role models like this to look up to, rather than some OnlyFans or Bonnie Blues or whatever is popular these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or celebrities. It's unrealistic.
Yeah, and it's not healthy, especially for young kids, you know?
Yeah, I think with the day and age of technology, like Instagram and TikTok, if they want to be like them, it's just obviously it's not real. It's hard as well. Like then people have made it out of however they've made it, but I think wanting like having someone like a jiu-jitsu athlete or an Olympic athlete or a wrestler, like that should be like what these young kids should look at.
Are you doing this full time now?
Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, trying with one leg. But yeah, I do freelance graphics as well.
And where do you do that?
Just at home. So I quit my job to become a full-time athlete, and then I'd studied graphic design, but I wanted that to more be a sideline thing.
So is that your own business thing you've got going on?
Yeah, color
Okay.
graphics.
So if people want to get anything done like that, like what sort of stuff do you do?
I do posters, flyers, logos, illustrations, commissions. I do quite a lot really. So a lot of it's based around jiu-jitsu now. So most of my clients are jiu-jitsu
Okay.
fans.
Yeah, I've seen you've done rash guards as well.
Yeah, do merch design.
That's pretty cool. I mean, we'll put all that stuff, in a link or something as well on the YouTube and stuff, so people can go and check it out.
Yeah, I've got some new t-shirts coming out that are quite fun.
Nice.
I had my injury club one. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, with the knee or
it's got a scan of an MRI scan.
Yes,
on the back.
I saw somebody at the Gorilla Invitational last weekend wearing one of those.
The funny thing is it's actually my MRI scan.
Oh yeah.
So everyone's wearing like
nice.
my scan.
And what is the best thing about living BJJ lifestyle?
The community, for sure.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, doing violence in a controlled manner, I like that. Because it's not like you're hurting each other, but you're also learning skills and, like, you can learn every day. Every day you go to jiu-jitsu, you can learn something new. That's what's amazing. And the people at jiu-jitsu, they're just, like, if you find the right family, then you'll love it.
And what would you say, what's the hardest, most frustrating part? Is it like money, politics, injuries?
Yeah, injuries is number one.
Yeah.
Number two is there is some politics in some gyms. I think everyone should kind of take a step back and realise that people go to jiu-jitsu or they'll go to the gym to get away from like home troubles or home politics or politics that are outside in the world. Like the world's not a great place right now, and the gym should be somewhere where people can get away.
Yeah, I agree. You don't want to come to the gym just to hear more problems.
No.
People want to get away from it all.
Yeah, like training is a release for a lot of people as well. So they should be able to enjoy it. And another thing in the gyms is like, a lot of people don't, I said this on another podcast, is a weight like situation where obviously doing like the sport that we're in, we have to weigh ourselves and cut weight all the time. And sometimes there's politics surrounding what weight people are or how much they have to cut. And that's like something that I think is hard not to push that on people. I try really hard not to mention weights or people cutting because it can affect like the younger kids.
Yeah.
And especially in a sport where you are burning a lot of calories, you don't want younger kids to start worrying about what they're eating or like starving themselves or trying to make weight for a competition.
Yeah, giving them eating disorder.
Yeah.
Like models, they usually end up with eating disorders. Now, is there a career in BJJ financially speaking, or is it mostly passion driven?
I'd say for the majority it's very passion driven because to earn money in BJJ you'd obviously have to be a coach, do privates, or doing shows alone aren't going to earn you a lot of money unless you're a big name. Then obviously you can get paid more, or if you do a lot of seminars, but again you have to have a name attached to that. So I think it is very passion driven. It sounds very harsh and there's not that much money to be made out of it, but it's specific things like gyms or seminars where I think the money will be.
Obviously, like Gordon Ryan is, say, won $1 million or whatever, but because of what he's achieved in the sport, he can charge $1,000 for a one-on-one seminar for an hour or whatever, Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think everyone is trying to make money out of it, but that's the thing is, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Exactly.
And even stuff like one-to-ones, like you have to be known for people to want to do a one-to-one with you. So I think it's quite tough because you have to prove to people why they should pay money for you to teach them.
And what's something that people don't see about the sport?
For me, like I mentioned community a lot, but I think people forget or don't see that. They see it as a competitive sport. As you go in, you have a match with someone, you try and hurt each other, but I think they don't see, like, someone mentioned to me when I was on Valhalla, I was sat with my opponent, like, giving her food and speaking to her before it. And they was like, that was kind of crazy to me. It was the man who said it, and he was like, that was crazy because I was like eyeing up my opponent across the room. And I think people don't see that, like, it's not that deep. It's just jiu-jitsu, and you're going to end up training with them in the future. So they don't see that, like, jiu-jitsu is friendly, as much as it comes across as, like, you're trying to hurt someone.
Now, where do you see the sport heading in the next 5 to 10 years, especially for women?
I think it's growing bigger in women's divisions, especially with what we're seeing, like, on CJI. I always get that wrong. I'm always like, yeah, I said that right. Having women's divisions in the bigger shows, I think it's only going to grow. I think jiu-jitsu is becoming more popular. Like, you see a lot of celebrities training jiu-jitsu now. Obviously, UFC stars do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You've got Joe Rogan, who's heavy on jiu-jitsu. So I think it's only going to get more popular. So it's nice to see it becoming everyone else's world. Like, you feel like it's just your world. And it's nice to see it spreading across, and people, even in films, you see a lot more jiu-jitsu references. So I think it will become more popular, in my opinion. And I think for the women's side, I think it's going to become more and more equal to as much as it can be, considering there's more men in the sport.
Yeah, I think that kid from Stuart Little is a black belt now.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I looked at celebs who's doing jiu-jitsu, like Ashton Kutcher, I think he's a brown belt, and you know, Russell Brand and all these guys. They don't compete though. They don't compete.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, he's active competitor, isn't he?
He's at a lot of events, and I'm gutted I'm never at the events. And he's and I was like, I just want to tell my mum. My mum really fancies it. Do you know, I love the fact that you can be a higher belt than a celebrity. Because obviously people idolise celebrities and they put themselves down compared to celebrities. And it kind of humanises these big people, like these big stars. Because it's like you could train with them in a gym and you could catch them with something, or they could catch you. And obviously jiu-jitsu is so friendly, like you can meet you can meet these stars. Hopefully Tom Hardy one day.
I'm sure you will.
Tom Hardy, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this podcast, please.
There we go, Tom, tell us where's your next event at, we'll be there.
No, I sound like a stalker. Just have a roll, we'll just have a nice roll.
Yeah, and even if you're a celeb, you still gotta, you know, you're not getting any, how can I say, the skill don't lie, right? You can't make up for it.
Yeah.
You gotta earn it, right?
Yeah.
Unless you Moneybug, then you can just buy it.
Yeah, you can. But it's like, it's nice to see someone with that's already got like a career in acting or whatever the celebrity's career is. They want to progress in something like jiu-jitsu. So it's nice that they've got a hobby that's similar.
Yeah, Jonah Hill, he's doing it as well.
Yeah, it's nice to see.
Yeah, there's so many people doing it now. I think it's a very, very fast-growing sport.
Yeah. It's just a shame it's not in the Olympics, but...
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because, I know there's a lot of steroid use, they're quite open about it.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I think it's not in the Olympics because of the rule. There's so many different rule sets.
Okay.
So I think it would be hard to pick a specific rule set.
Can't they just agree on one rule set? I mean...
Yeah, I think that would be clever. Like, obviously BJJF, I think that would be a good rule set for the Olympics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if it is becoming like it is, like you said, fast growing, I can't see why it wouldn't be in the Olympics, which then would give opportunities to make more money, and it would be more of like inspiration for younger kids. And also, everyone's grandma says, "Oh, is that stuff that's in the? Is that karate that's in the Olympics?" And you're like, no, it's not in the Olympics. Yeah,
they love the karate, eh?
Yeah. I think my grandma still thinks I do karate.
Have you ever done karate?
Nope. Never.
Would you recommend it?
I've never tried it, so I wouldn't know. I'd recommend jiu-jitsu though.
Do events like Polaris change the game?
Yeah, massively. Not that any other shows aren't as important or like that I don't put in as much effort, but I think that once you hit that dream goal, you want to stay on that high or you want to stay on that level that you're at. So I think the game just gets harder because you want to maintain that status.
And where will be the next step up from Polaris?
I think that's different to each person. So I'd obviously, for me, I'd love to eventually do trials. Or, I mean, Craig Jones's Invitational, that would be like a big dream as well.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
think it's knowing your level and knowing, I don't know, like you can obviously have dreams, but I'm very humble, so I know I wouldn't be at that level yet. I'd just love to be back on Polaris.
Yeah, and obviously getting over this injury.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when did this injury occur?
I think it was May. Was it just before May? Maybe. So it's quite a while ago.
Yeah, and you still need operation, right?
Yeah.
So was it the ACL?
Yes, complete tear in my ACL.
Right.
Yeah. Some people live with that and still train.
Yeah.
But I spoke to, so my brother's in the military in the PT Corps,
Mm-hmm.
and he works closely with doctors, so he obviously asked for their advice, and they basically said like, while you're young, get it fixed. If I want my career to be in jiu-jitsu, it's important I get it fixed really, because my shin slips forward, and imagine if I'm like about to go on stage or start like wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it won't be ideal.
Do you think this would put a bit of it will be in the back of your head now, you know, every time you step on there?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know, same like when Connor or Anderson Silva, you know, when you snap a leg,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like
It's always going to be in your mind. It's like...
Yeah, you don't want it happening again, so you're a bit wary of it.
I think that'll wear off eventually. It's like say if you've hurt yourself before, like you did your arm, you eventually forget it.
Yeah, you forget and you carry on as if it never happened.
Yeah, I'm obviously going to be cautious because I don't ever want to go through that again. So it's going to make me realise in the training rooms, like, pick your partners or just be wary of, like, what's worth it kind of thing. Like, I should have just, that day, it was like the end of the day that it happened, I should have just called it a day when I should have. But, I mean, I can't go back and change it.
Yeah.
It just makes me realise that people should just be careful.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's bad, it sucks, you know, it's an injury and now you're dealing with it and so many months and you haven't even got the operation yet.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's still a contact sport and it does come with risks and injuries is very real. But for the most part, would you say people should be worried or let it put them off injuries?
No,
you know?
I don't think so. I think injuries can happen anywhere. Like, this was a freak accident. It wasn't like someone had come for my leg. It wasn't like she'd done it on purpose. I don't think it should put you off it, because otherwise you'll never do it. Like, you can get injured in it, because obviously, like you said, it's a combat sport, but you can get just as injured doing the day-to-day life stuff or working in an office. Obviously, not as bad. But yeah, I don't think it should put anyone off. I think you should just be careful, that's all.
And what are your future goals in the sport?
Get to black belt. I think that's everyone's goal. Get more confident with teaching, helping like the younger girls or even lads. That would be like a big goal. Compete on Polaris again. Just become more confident, I think, because when I started I was very shy, and become more confident in my own ability, because I didn't want to teach that long ago because I was like, no, I can't do that. And then I realised I actually enjoy it. So just, my goal would obviously be on shows more, but just be more confident in my own ability.
And do you normally teach, is it mostly kids or adults or both?
Adults, because I think if I taught kids I might teach some stuff they're not allowed to do. Yeah.
First day heel hooks in the gi.
Yeah. I do like teaching kids, but I think there's like obviously young Chloe who has done this sport growing up. And she knows like what's good for kids, like what's good for them competing. So I do like to teach adults. I also like it when a shy adult comes in because it reminds me of me when I first started.
Oh yeah.
And just like, I'll say to them, like, I know this is going to feel weird and you're going to feel mean, but this is like the next step.
People need to hear that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Because everyone like kind of thinks, they forget that we all started in the exact same position. Like, we all started brand new, didn't know what to do, uncomfortable. But if they realise, like, we do get it. Like, if I'm teaching a class, I don't think of myself as like superior or like it's easy. But if you like resonate that with them, then I think it like calms them down a bit.
That's why I think it's so important for people to find the right gym and not necessarily settle with the first gym you step into, but go check out a few, get
Yeah.
a feel for it, the vibe, the people, the coaches, and just persevere.
Yeah, for sure. Like, finding your gym, like you said, it might take a while. But when you feel comfortable, that's when you start like developing this family. Like, when you start to know people, when you start opening up to people, or people open up to you. Yeah, Stealth has been like a big part of that, and Subzone as well.
So what would you say to the beginners who's nervous about starting?
Everyone starts exactly how you start, and I was nervous. Fionn would have been nervous. I don't know. Craig Jones would have been nervous. All these big names. They might not have been, but people have nerves, and everyone is in the same boat. But it's gonna get better. It's like when you learn to ride a bike. At the start, you're like, I can't do this, and then obviously you get better, and you just progress from there. One bit of advice I do like to say to beginners as well is, don't focus on the things like trying to submit people or trying to be the best in the room, because I think sooner rather than later you'll end up being humbled by that.
Yeah.
And you realise, like, you'll never be the best in the room at jiu-jitsu because everyone's game's different, and some stuff's fluky, some stuff's skill. Like, I think just be open to learning and like be in the nail sometimes.
And any message to young girls or women who might be looking up to you?
Yeah, just keep going. Don't ever feel like you're a wasted role. That specifically, like, know your worth, and that doesn't mean like go in there with an attitude, but know that you're an equal training partner. Know that you can one day be someone who people are looking up to. When I started, I didn't think I'd end up being someone that people look up to. So I think it's important just to value yourself.
Yeah, that's important. And looking back, what advice would you give your younger self starting BJJ?
I got asked this question before,
Yeah.
so I'll answer it the same because it still resonates with me. My advice would be, don't focus so much on the negatives or the haters. I spend too much time worrying about what people think, or if I do that wrong, what will people think, or something like shooting a bad takedown, or just focus on like the positives. You're always gonna have people rooting for you, but I think it's too easy to forget that, and then they kind of get put second. So I think the more you focus on like the people that are there telling you they're proud of you, even if you don't win. I think focus on them people, and keeping good people around you is important. Don't get drawn into what's popular, even if it's a bad crowd.
Yeah, I think it's very important to, there will always be haters in anything that you do in life.
Yeah.
And it actually says more about them than yourself. Like that, things people say about you don't define you. And actually, it's a projection of themselves, their own insecurities.
Yeah.
They're trying to project onto others.
Yeah.
It's very important to ignore the noise, isn't it?
Very important, because otherwise you can let it affect you can let it affect your game. Some people just say rumours just to say them. So I think that, like you said, it's their own insecurities, and if you can get past that, you can even be friends with these people. So it might be something that they're going through, but try not to focus on that, because people can be so cruel that I think it's all social media based as well. So if you can take yourself out of that situation, I think that's really important.
How's the tattoo feeling, by the way?
It feels good. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like I don't even have to ask, but gi or no gi?
No gi.
But you did recently start doing more
I
gi,
did,
right?
yeah.
So what made you start doing more gi now again?
Everyone's asking me like, are you okay? Are you going through something? Like, what's going on? Why have you got the gi on? And I knew that would happen. As soon as I turned up to Stealth, like, people was like, what the hell? What am I looking at right now? The reason being is I've always had a sub-only show coming up. So I used to say I don't need to train gi if I've got, like, no gi stuff to train for. And I neglected my gi, and I didn't want to be someone who progresses to brown belt and still didn't know much in the gi. So obviously this injury came, and then I thought, right, it's time, I'm going to have to dig out my old gis, which obviously didn't fit because I wasn't the size I was when I got them.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so I started doing gi again. I think it made Steve happy that I did gi. I even stuck around for technique, which is something I struggle with, to like focus in technique. And I actually, as bad as this sounds, it stays between me, you and the whole world listening to the podcast. I actually enjoy it a little bit. So I'm glad that I put my gi back on and got my brown belt.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Who's your dream opponent?
My dream opponent? Oh, I don't know because I don't want to call anyone out.
Hope you're listening, we're coming for you.
This dream opponent sat there like, try me. Oh, I don't know. So this is going to sound really mad. I still do. I want to have a match against a man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Craig Jones.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know why, and like some men are like, that's stupid, no one's going to do that. But I just think it'd be cool to have a match against a man.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I think it can be done. That's been done on. That's
Yeah.
one thing I like about the CGI. They mix it up a little bit and try and make it fun for people to watch.
Yeah.
Also, you know.
Very entertaining. But yeah, no, I think it's because I've grown up with my brother, and we used to fight a lot.
Oh yeah.
That I'm like, I just want to fight a man.
Does your brother do any martial arts or anything?
No, but annoyingly, he's really good at it. So when
really?
he tried jiu-jitsu, yeah, he's in the military. So when he did jiu-jitsu, he was really good, and it really annoyed me because I wanted to be. He's a runner. He's really good at running.
Yeah.
So I'm terrible at running. So he's good at his running. So I'm good at my jiu-jitsu. But then when he tried it, I was like, no, you can't win at that as well. Yeah, he's really strong, so he's very good at it.
Isn't that like an insult telling someone you're really strong
Yeah,
in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, so my PT, Chris, he gets told, if you watch his matches back with commentators, all they say is, yeah, you know, he's really strong. And he's like, but what about my technique?
Yeah.
And he's really good technically as well, so the fact that people only ever focus on the fact that he's strong. A lot of people say, like, you're really strong for a girl. And I know some girls hate that. Right. But me, I'm like, oh, say it again.
Yeah, most embarrassing or funny moments on the mat?
Embarrassing? I mean, there's a lot. There can be things that are embarrassing to people. I know that, like, a lot of people tend. Some people are embarrassed by this. I mean, if someone does it while I'm rolling with them, I'm not bothered. I actually find it quite funny. But like, obviously, people fart in rolls.
Yeah, I think that's the most common one.
Yeah. Oh, there's been cases where you're in jiu-jitsu, you're close with people, like you're pretty much on top of each other, and you grab things that you accidentally shouldn't grab. Yeah. And I've done that before, but I was rolling with someone who was he was a southerner, and I just don't think he found me funny at all. I don't think he understood my sense of humour, and as I accidentally grabbed it, I was like, oh, sorry, and then made like a clown, like oh, no. And he just looked at me in disgust, and I was like, I'm never going to do that joke, ever again. So yeah, that's embarrassing. Funny moments are, they can be little stuff for me. I'm quite immature, like, if someone's mouth's really dry and the lip gets stuck above the gum shield, or someone's slipping onto it, obviously I don't want them to hurt the knees. Yeah, stuff like that. Or I like to do, if I'm like rolling with someone who I know, like my mates, I do like a dog sniffy noise down the road.
Yeah. So, one word to describe your jiu-jitsu style.
Inverted.
Okay.
I was gonna say bendy, but if you watch my matches, I'll just be upside down most of it.
Right. Would you pull guard?
Well, when I did Polaris, I tried to wrestle for a bit because obviously I was going to sub-zone, so I wanted to show that I'm not just a guard puller.
Right.
But then I think my game was on Polaris. Obviously, it's 2 5-minute matches. I spoke to Steve and I said, like, if nothing happens in the first, I think it was 3 minutes or 30 seconds, I don't want to be boring, and I don't want to be one of the matches where you're both just trying to wrestle each other. So I did pull eventually in that, and that's when I got the knee bar. So if it was the case of wanting to be entertaining in a short time limit, then yeah, I would pull.
And what's next for Chanel O'Brien?
Getting that new knee is the next thing.
That's the next thing. And then the rehab. How long is the recovery process?
I think it could be like 9 months. I think it depends on who you are as well. So straight away, obviously, I think for the first 2 weeks I'll be on crutches, but I'd like to get back to the gym to do upper body, just do my rehab every day, just focus on getting back really, and then the next big thing for me is competition. I just want to be back out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, might have some exciting news. I've already got something lined up.
Awesome. Can't talk about that now.
I'm on a good show. I'm on a really good show.
So where can people follow you, and any sponsors or gym shout outs you want to do?
Yeah. So you can follow me on my Instagram, which is just Chanel O'Brien.
Yep.
I do have, with me being ADHD, I have quite a lot of Instagrams. I have Cob Pics is my photography, Cob Graphics is my graphics. My sponsors is obviously Progress, Warrior. I've got peptides, for anyone who wants peptides. I've got Sweat Collector bag. I love my Sweat Collector bag, so shout out to them. I've got, try not to forget any, I've got Myco Ape. What else have I got? I've got a list of my sponsors now.
And you've got your own rash guards and everything as well?
I do, yeah. So I'll have my own shop going soon. The plan is every time I release a top and I do a pre-order, people miss it and then like, please can I get one? And I'm like, I feel bad because it's too late. So I'm going to actually have my own shop going soon where you can buy all my
Nice.
merch. Yeah.
And we'll put all the links and everything down below and in the description so people can go and follow you and check you out.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chanel, we're really looking forward to see more of you in the future and your competitions. I know you have to get this knee surgery and recovery out the way, but you're still young, so I think you've got a promising future. So yeah, and thank you for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. It was great having you.
Thank you.
And we'll show the tattoo afterwards.
Yes.